ka-ALS! I am Flordelisa Sakabin, an ALS teacher from Iligan City. I'm also a PhD student at Capitol University, currently enrolled in the subject Philosophy, Trends and Issues in Philippine Education under Professor Chan. Today, I'd like to share with you the story why I teach, why I choose the teaching profession, and why I love teaching, especially in the alternative learning system. Let me begin my story. When I was a young girl, I sat quietly at school and learned from my teacher. I didn't always grasp the lesson, but I grasped the respect that she embodied. Whenever anyone addressed her as ma'am, good morning ma'am, good afternoon ma'am, it sounds like more than a title. It was a word surrounded in dignity, wisdom, and elegance. Something about it prompted me to want to stand in her shoes one day. At first, it was only a dream, but when I grew up, hailing from a poor and dysfunctional family, that dream turned into a lifetime. I thought teaching could give me stability, perhaps an opportunity to lead a better life. After high school, I said to myself, I want to be a teacher, not to only teach, but to survive, sustain myself, and get away from the poverty I had always known. But when I came to college, something shifted. From 6th grade onwards, I was a student scholar of the Religious of the Good Shepherd Sisters here in Iligan City, a congregation that influenced my education as well as my values. They instilled in me that life is not merely about pulling ourselves up, but our bootstraps, but also about pulling others up. Through them, I encountered many who had lost hope, street children, dropouts among youth, those who felt learning was no longer an option for them. Their testimonies stirred something inside me. I knew that I didn't merely want to teach for myself. I wanted to teach them for those who were forgotten or left behind. My dream ceased to be about stability. It became about service. Later, I was employed by the Department of Education way back 2019 and was given my permanent item. But instead of a regular classroom, I was posted at the Alternative Learning System, or ALS. I vividly recall what the division head said to me. You will teach the least, the lost, and the last individuals in the community. In all honesty, I was shocked. This was not what I had envisioned. There were no blackboards, no lines of desks, no neatly dressed students. Rather, I was confronted with students with complex lives, teen parents, dropouts individuals, workers by day, and student by night. Initially, I was overwhelmed, but eventually I realized something profound. This is where I meant to be. This is where my calling materializes. This is where God's plan for me sets in. In ALS, I am more than a teacher. I walk with my students. I assess them in believing again in themselves. I see second chances, small wins, and lives slowly changing through learning. It is not always simple, but it is always worthwhile. Now I teach not only to make a living, but to bring life. I teach to shine where there is darkness, to open doors that once seemed forever closed, to provide hope where there was once only hopeless. I am an ALS teacher. I teach under the trees, where there are no classrooms. Though, we're lucky when the school principal allows us to use a spare room in their school. I use my own money to provide materials for my classes and to support skills training that helps sustain the ALS program. I do this so learners stay motivated and continue their studies. And this is my story.